Woodinville straight bourbon whiskey from Washington State. Worth the money, or should you stick to Kentucky? Stay tuned for the Whiskey Whistle. Greetings and salutations, my whiskey curious friends. Welcome to Whiskey Whistle, your wise choice in independent whiskey and spirits reviews. I'm the host, Mark, and this one I believe is whiskey review number 276, Woodinville. This is a pretty recent American bourbon, American whiskey. They do other whiskeys like rye, etc. And this sample comes thanks to courtesy of Ace's Whiskey Vault, run by a friend of mine named Mel. Hi Mel, thanks a lot. And anyway, you can check out his website. It's called Ace's Whiskey Vault, and check out acelee62.wixsite.com. All right, acelee, L-E-E, 62.wix, W-I-X, site, S-I-T-E.com. All right, so check that out. Let's get that poured. This is Woodinville. It is 45% ABV, 90 proof, and it's got a mash bill of 72% corn, 22% rye, and 6% malted barley. Okay, I always have trouble. Okay, this one came off quite nicely. Great. All right. It smells like bourbon. Okay, let's get that poured. I think we'll just go half in, maybe a little more. There we go. Very generous samples. Thanks again, Mel. Really appreciate that. Okay. And quick little bit of a rundown about them. So they're located in Washington State, in fact, in Woodinville. And let's see here. There it is. Okay, let me just read this to you. This is right on the website. Let's load. Here we go. This truly small batch bourbon starts with traditionally grown corn, rye, and malted barley. All of our staple grains are cultivated exclusively for us on the Omlin family farm in Quincy, Washington. The grains are mashed, distilled, and barreled in our Woodinville distillery, then trucked back over the Cascade Mountains to our private barrel houses, where central Washington's extreme temperature cycles promote the extraction of natural flavors from the oak. Prior to being coopered, the barrel wood is seasoned in open air, rain, wind, sun, and snow for 18 months, softening the wood's harsh tannins. The barrels are then slowly toasted and heavily charred to further enrich the wood's desirable flavors. This meticulous process yields a truly handcrafted spirit with aromas of blank, blank, blank. I won't read that. Okay. All right, and it's claimed to be approximately 5 to 6 years old. And for straight bourbon whiskey, well, that's actually an extra couple of years. So that's pretty good. Extra one or 2 years compared to your regular straight bourbon whiskeys. All right, your typical ones, I should say. I believe 2 years is the minimum. For bottled and bond is 4. So this goes even one up of bottled and bond, despite it being less than 100 proof. Pardon me. All right. By the way, no cuts in this review or any future review for the time being. I don't have time to do the editing, so I'm just going to add a bit of music, put on my little front animation and my little closing, what do you call that? Closing credits. Make sure you watch those. A lot of my my supporters, well, I put their names directly in there. If you'd like to be a supporter, check me out through Patreon. And of course, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, then why not subscribe right there? And if you've tried Woodinville, leave a comment and hit thumbs up, thumbs down if you like this this review. If you don't like it, you know what to do. All right. Okay, so let's look at the color first of all. Now, where did my color board go? There it is. That's rather far away. There. Okay, and I'm using a Ben Riach glass. Certainly does the job. All right, pretty much a regular, pretty standard bourbon color, isn't it? Very dark amber. Getting onto an oak type of a hue, oak furniture, polished oak. And, well, obviously it's all natural. All American whiskeys are all natural in color, so that's great. It would be nice if this were unchill filtered, and couldn't find that information readily. But I hear that for most U.S. distilleries, it's around something around over 50 proof, somewhere around 50 proof, 47, 50 proof, 47, 50% ABV, 94 to 100 proof, where they decide they may stop chill filtering. All right. Let's check out the nose. Oh, no, you know what? The nose. No, first we're going to check out the legs. Pardon me. Huh. Okay, so let's check out the legs of Woodinville. And I'm a little nervous. It's been a long time since I've recorded, about 3 weeks. Did you catch my Johnny Walker White Walker review? If you haven't, have a look to decide if that's a whiskey you're going to get or not. Okay, so here come the legs. Whoops, I spilled some. Okay. All right, so fairly quick legs there, but then the secondary legs, rather slow and very viscous, very showy legs. Quite nice. You know, who doesn't like nice legs, right? All right, onto the nose. Oh, you can really smell that that barrel char here. You really get a sense of that toasted wood, charred wood, having some sort of an action on the whiskey itself. And I can tell right off the bat, this is a very earthy, rich bourbon as opposed to a fruity bourbon. Big caramel. Maybe a bit of spent coffee, but it would be like a really richly roasted Arabica. There we go, Arabica beans. Maybe something from like Sumatra or Indonesia, something that's got that real potent heady nose. So yeah, this interesting wood smoke. It really reminds me a lot of a sauna with the those hot rocks in there that actually end up searing a bit of the wood near where the rocks are. You know, or if you make a nice fire and you're using really good wood, you might get this kind of scent as well. Do I get any fruit here? Maybe a hint of baked apples. Baked apples, that coffee grinds, caramel. Now, as far as bourbons go, this nose is amazing. Great nose for a bourbon. It's unique, it's distinct, it's got its own oomph to it. Okay, ready to taste it. How about you? All right, cheers everybody, and thanks again, Mel. I mentioned earthy, and I'm right. It's very astringent and reminds me of alkaline I don't know, not soil. I don't have soil, but sometimes you'll have water, water, spring water, and if it has a lot of dissolved minerals in it, it'll be a little bit alkaline. So it is astringent, and yet it is also a little bit soft on the palate from that alkalinity. So I forget my scientific words. Cheers again. This seems like a bourbon that can definitely manage 10, 12 years of aging and come up with something that's very nice. I don't get a whole lot of tannins. Maybe that's that unique process of wood preparation. 18 months is a bit short, but when you listen to that, it gets hit by snow and rain and wind and sun. So you can imagine there's a bit of a different sort of a process happening to that wood. All right, another taste. And I really feel like I'm getting that kind of that wood smoke, mesquite. What's that other wood that's often used? I can't remember. Starts with an H, I think. That's gone. Anyway. So, the chips you'll put in your barbecue to add a bit of flavor, applewood or mesquite or that other one I'm forgetting. Whatever. All right. Finish wise. Oh, again, that wood smoke, a little bit sour finish. I should say tart, not sour in a bad way. A little bit tart, spicy. And that astringency is still there as well. So if you're looking for a sweet bourbon, this probably is not what you're looking for. But before I say that, let's add a little bit of water. This is spring water. And we'll see what happens. Bourbon and branch, they say, right? I think just a little bit more. There. Come on. Stir that about a bit. Swish it about, I should say. Okay. I'll use my Aquavite hat on there. If I had more hats, I'd use them. I should have my own, hopefully sometime soon. If you're interested, you can send me a direct message through Twitter or Instagram, markswhisskywhistle@gmail.com. Also, send me an email. Leave a comment with your email, and let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in from WhiskyWhistle, some new merch. I've never had, actually, first merch. I've never had merch before. So, all right, let's give that another couple seconds. All right, and a quick shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. Hey, everybody, really appreciate your patience. And I should also tell you that I've spent the last 4 months getting ready for a new career, and I'm now licensed. Within a couple of days from now, I'll be a licensed realtor here in Manitoba. Cool, eh? And I'll be working in commercial real estate. So it's going to be a long game, but hopefully it's going to work out and be an enjoyable, lucrative career. If you're in that field, you can send me a message, give me some pointers, etc. I'd love to hear from you. All right, so let's check this out now. This is Woodinville with a little bit of water added. See how that smells? Much more toned down, of course, with water. And there's a bit of fruit coming through now. A little bit more of that that baked apple. And in fact, even some fresh apples coming through. Like a russet apple. Still wonderful nose, really toffeed, delicious, delicious smelling, I should say. That coffee aspect, interesting. And it's so easy to smell. There's no sharpness there whatsoever. Very well made whiskey. All right, cheers again. That really brings out some sweetness. Subtle sweetness. Still tends to be a little bit more astringent than sweet, but a nice range of flavors. And the new owners, that's LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, who also own Glenmorangie and Ardbeg. So they're getting into bourbon, and they definitely got a whole lot of marketability with this Woodinville. I think this can definitely stand up against Kentucky bourbons or bourbons made anywhere else in USA. Now, retail price $55 US. So you're talking more than Wild Turkey 101 and Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, etc. And you're getting into prices that you'll see for some of the Jim Beam fancy brand names like Knob Creek and Booker's, etc. So how does this match up with those? According to my memory, Basil Hayden's, I would say this is definitely well on par with that. What else have I tried? Old Grandad 114, interesting whiskey. Did I keep a sample? I hope I kept a sample of that. Anyway, it definitely well on par with that. Booker's, I can't say. I actually have not tried Booker's yet. I think I have a sample of Booker's, also from Mel. Cheers again. Anyway, so definitely does well with, we'll call that the middle shelf of bourbon whiskey. All right, one more taste here with water. Yeah, you're definitely getting more sweetness here now, and this is really a very classic bourbon with a very distinct difference to some others. So it's not like Evan Williams, it's not like Wild Turkey, it's not like Jim Beam, it's not like 1792. It's definitely its own style. It's recognizably a delicious bourbon that I'm sure that you will like if you're interested in that middle shelf of bourbons. I know some people like the top shelf. Some people think that the best value is at the lower shelf. With of course the circles I run in, I have the benefit of grabbing samples such as this and occasionally getting something that I wouldn't normally get because I'm reviewing it. Anyway, so now that I'm in Winnipeg, if you happen to be in Manitoba, well, that might be an interesting way for you to try some interesting whiskeys by getting in touch with me, and we'll make some kind of arrangement, some kind of a bottle share, etc. So you can talk to me again through email or Twitter, Instagram, etc. Get in touch. All right, let's get on to the Whiskey Whistle Whiskey Score. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that. My only comment is that I think that this would do better at, say, 7 or 8 years old, perhaps even 9. 10 if they can play with casks somehow. And I hear they have some other finishes. I think was there a port that I saw, a port finish or something like that? That sounds very interesting. I think that would play very nicely with this whiskey. And why would LVMH go in on a brand, a company like this? Well, bourbon's booming, number one. Number two, they'll have access to casks that they need, and they already have their own wood. So they can send Woodinville wood, and it can then, they'll cooper it, put their Woodinville bourbon in it, age it for 5 to whatever years, and then send the cask over to Glenmorangie. Glenmorangie will use it twice. Excuse me. Then they'll send it to Ardbeg. So it's recycling, right? All right. Anyway, so the Whiskey Whistle Whiskey Score for Woodinville Straight Bourbon Whiskey from Washington State. Well, that's going to be 88 out of 100. Yep, you heard right. 88 out of 100 is the Whiskey Whistle Whiskey Score for Woodinville Straight Bourbon Whiskey from Washington State. All right. Okay, well, take care, everybody. If you like that, subscribe, leave a comment, hit like, and check me out on Patreon, okay? Take care now. See you for the next one. Thanks for watching Whiskey Whistle. Be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to give this video a like, and leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.